So we are officially live. It's been a lot of work. I have to be honest, I underestimated quite how much time filming and editing videos actually take. But remember, this is a subscription model. Videos are going to be released not only on a weekly basis, but literally new content every month with regards to different subjects. This month in Evolve is focused entirely around backtesting. So on a weekly basis, one video is going to be released every single week around backtesting to ensure you get the most out of all of the strategies and the content you've already absorbed when you become a member, to then actually implement into your backtesting to ensure that you're set off on the best foot forward from the start. So if you've been interested in the progression so far, what I'm going to do is give you just an overview of the platform, give you a little behind the scenes of exactly what you'll get if you did become an Evolve member, or you can actually just see how far the project has actually come and what the final product is if you have been following along on this little mini series. But anyway, let's jump on the screen, and what I'll do is take you through the platform and also everything that you get as an Evolve member. So this is the Evolve dashboard. This is the actual trading material that's been released so far. So everything is based around chapters, and then we have the weekly watch list and then the mid-week watch list reviews as their own separate section. But essentially all videos will be encompassed within this dashboard here. So as you can see, you've also got a percentage of completion, so you can track your progress as you progress forward. And also we can see that the entire dashboard has this lovely dark theme. Is obviously congruent with the Evolve brand, which is the dark black theme. Logo up here, nice and prominent, but very much like the overall design. So this is the good thing about Thinkific, is that you can customize it to this extent. So anyway, let me run you through all of the chapters that are currently available, and also I'll give you a little behind the scenes of the Slack community as well. So the first place that you start will be the Ascent. This is where to begin. Gives you the brief overview of how to join the Slack, and then just an introductory video, standard stuff. The Basecamp will be released in its own separate month. This is in the works, but I'm not rushing this one, as I've already said in a previous video. So the first chapter that you actually come across will be routines. So I've outlined all of the routines that I believe that you need as a trader, not only in terms of organising your day. It's not just about that. It's not about just what you should do in the morning or the evening. It's going through all of the processes that you should be doing in the morning or the evening. So actually all the processes and routines you need to have in place of when and what. So not only the morning analysis, but also how to plan your back testing from the morning to the evening. What you should be doing at the weekend in terms of journaling, reviewing, and also back testing. So we go through all of the processes you need as a trader. And then the final one will be entering a trade. What you should be doing as you enter a trade, how you should be logging that data, where you should be putting it, and how you should be recording it. So these are everything that should be setting you off on the right foot from the very beginning. But also this list is going to be growing as the content grows as well. So this is constantly going to be updated with further routines, but these are the very basics that you need to get started as a trader. So these are the basics behind how we actually analyze the markets, what we need to see, and how we can actually implement our own strategies around that. So we've got liquidity, the basics behind that, to give you an understanding behind supply and demand, how we identify supply and demand and how we draw it, impulse and corrections, how we interpret those, the basics of wave theory, which is actually a very important aspect of one of our strategies, trends, the basics behind this, but also what we need to see to interpret a trend and how we trade off of them, multi-time frame analysis, how we perform it and how we specifically approach it. So it's not just the basics behind top-down analysis of this is what you need to do. We start from the top, we start from the bottom. We actually have more of a unique way of looking at the markets, which enables us to have more of a neutral bias. So I explain in detail how we approach this and how you can do this too, to apply it to your weekly analysis. And then the DXY, why we start on this and why the dollar is so important in our analysis. Then we have an ending quiz. So you're quizzed on all of the knowledge throughout the chapters to ensure that you're actually picking up this key information. Then we go into chapter 4, which is actually the nitty-gritty Evolve trading strategies. So just your general introduction, continuations, scaling into the market, the tap and go strategy, which is our trend following strategy, and obviously the continuation strategy, reversals, what they are, and also the advanced reversal strategy, which is our strategy for getting in on reversals, how to actually enter an ARS setup, combining the strategies so you can actually scale in to the market and build up multiple positions on one currency pair, and also how to actually apply discretion. So the way we approach the markets is very mechanical. So I'll show you how you can introduce discretion as long as it's backed up by data. So we're not just being subjective and be like, okay, this looks like a bear flag, let's take it. No, it's none of that. Then we move into the trade management guidelines. So we have very, very key dynamics in terms of how we approach management. There's no discretionary, let's just place it to 2% just in case it pulls back, giving it room to breathe. No, we follow the same process time and time again to ensure, so we actually extract as much percentage from each trade as we possibly can and follow that religiously time and time again. And then we go into how to build a weekly watch list. Then entry types, so the various entry types we actually have and follow so you know what to look for. How to forecast the strategies as well. It's all very well understanding the strategy, but how can you actually be prepared and know what to look for in advance? I often get the question posed to me of just like, how did you know that this was going to set up at this area? I'll show you my exact thought process of how you should be approaching the markets in terms of the strategies that we employ. This is a truly valuable lesson to get you prepared well in advance. And then we have the ending quiz. So 22 questions all around the strategies so you know what you should be looking for. So there's no second guessing. There's no grey areas. No stone left unturned. You should understand the strategies going forward and you should be able to backtest it from there. Then we have chapter 5. So we've got one video so far released, which is the introduction to backtesting, and this includes how to backtest the TNG strategy, as well as our backtesting spreadsheet, which goes through all of the different variables and actually shows how we quantify that data to actually develop an edge rather than just tracking random setups. We know the strike rate of all of the setups that we employ. And then as you can see, these are all of the drip fed videos that will be coming out throughout the course of the month. So testing your way to greatness, creating a backtesting routine, how to backtest using TradingView and Google Sheets, weekly backtesting, monthly backtesting, quarterly backtesting, and then actually tracking data and developing an edge. What we can actually do with all the data that we've collected and how we can then build up our trading plan from there. Then we've got the weekly watch list section. This is just a weekly watch list. So on a Sunday, I release a video which breaks down my watch list, what I'm seeing for the course of the week, and also a plan for each strategy at very key areas. So it's not just this is where I see the market moving. It's very specific, and this is where we've come from, this is where we're going, how can we trade it between here, and once we get to here, what do we want to see? So it's a very specific game plan. And then the midweek watch list reviews, these are an extension of that weekly watch list. On a Tuesday and a Thursday, there will be videos released which provide an update of that watch list, any positions that I've taken, and how I'm going to be managing those going forward. So perhaps Euro yen is no longer of interest to me. You actually see what pairs I've now added into the watch list and what my focus is going to be on for the rest of the week. So therefore you're actually tracking in real time along with me to see the actual progression of that watch list as well as the positions that are being taken so that you can actually truly understand the strategy more, seeing it applied directly. Now let me give you behind the scenes of the Slack community so far. So we've only been launched one day as well, so obviously we are still a very small community. But what I do throughout the course of the week is still provide you updates in Slack. There's no monthly trade recap in terms of just surprise trades. You get the weekly watch list, which is me planning out all of the trades that I see happening. You get the weekly watch list, which is me discussing all of the setups that I want to see on each currency pair throughout the course of the week. And as those come into fruition, and as they're coming close to setting up, both in the TNG and the ARS analysis channel, I will call those out as I see them fit. So it's not a signal service, it's more me giving you an example of where a trade is setting up, or if there's any new developments, I'll be posting in here. Now, once I've entered the trade, I'll actually call out that I've entered the trade, and then I'll provide the broker ticket as well, or an MT4 screenshot, just to provide that little bit of extra transparency to show that I'm actually taking the positions. I've actually got skin in the game, and I'm actually following the strategy. So you can see I've actually entered the market here, and I'm going to tell you how exactly I'm managing that throughout the course of the week. There's no hindsight trade recap at the end of the month where I've taken all these perfect positions and ended up in a really high return. Winners or losers, I post it in the Slack channel throughout the week so you can actually see the trades that I'm taking. And then it's the Tuesday and the Thursday videos where I give you that update. And then at the end of the month, there's a monthly trade recap where I tell you my return and how the strategy is performed based on me implementing it. So these will also be cross-referenced to the Slack group as well. There's no random surprises. The only time I ever discuss a trade, which I haven't put in Slack, will be if I've applied a certain level of discretion that I don't want people to be following against because I've backtested this scenario, whereas you may have not. So I only share really textbook scenarios, or I'll explicitly explain why I'm looking to take it based on some kind of override or discretionary parameter. So that's the Evolve platform in a nutshell. So the Slack group is super valuable because not only am I sharing my trades, but you get all your announcements, also get feedback in terms of not only your back testing, but also your own trade analysis. But the key part of Evolve is that everyone's trading the exact same strategies. There's only 2 strategies and 1 management principle. So everyone within the Slack group knows what everyone's trading. There's no discretion or people looking or people sharing trades and saying, I'm uncertain about this, I think it could do this, or it looks like it's setting up for this. It's all the same. We've got very mechanical parameters, so everyone just shares the trades that they're looking at taking. And once you understand and go through all the content, it will become very clear of how you can implement all of these strategies. I really do believe that Evolve is genuinely going to be super valuable to not only new traders, but struggling traders that really need a helping hand so they can actually get past that bridge and go into consistency. So what's coming up in terms of Evolve? As I said, this month, the month of March 2020, is all about back testing. And in April, it's all about actually how to be treating trading as a business. So we're going to go through all the fundamentals of how you need to be approaching trading. So we're going to be going over the fundamentals of business itself. So talking about the business plan in general, providing a business plan template, how to build your trading plan, providing you with a trading plan template, and also then the very basic principles of business. So you're actually approaching it like a business. So you're actually going to be applying yourself and taking this shit seriously. Now, as you may be aware, if you already registered interest in Evolve before the launch, you automatically entered into the competition. All you need to do is become an Evolve member, and you should already have received an email of the steps you need to undertake to be entered into that competition. Now, the competition is to receive the ability of trading a $10,000 trading account. Now, if that's of interest to you and you want to be taking trading seriously and be given the opportunity of trading a decent amount of starting capital and implement the Evolve trading strategies to actually become consistent, then open that email, follow the steps, and I look forward to seeing you as a new member. But anyway, guys, I hope you've enjoyed the behind the scenes of this journey, seeing it come into actual fruition. This is going to be the last vlog style video in terms of Evolve. Everything from here on is just going to be providing you value with little behind the scenes of what we can do to help you further with Evolve. This is the end of Journey to Launch, and Journey to Launch is now completed. So again, if you're interested in becoming a member, by all means, click the link below and I shall see you in the Slack community. But if not, stay tuned for more content.